everybody, I'm Quinn.
And I'm Scott. Welcome to the Almost Friday show for June 10th, 2010.
This week in Off the Press, we're looking at a new trailer/clip for a Mortal Kombat movie/game that might get made.
Looks super epic. Check it out. Then we're going to the gutters and we're checking out the Pro with Dave.
If you spent any time on the internet in the last 4 days, you've obviously known about the iPhone 4 at WWDC. So we're going to be talking about that and what's coming from Apple.
And then we'll throw in a few other tidbits from other companies, just to balance it out.
Absolutely.
Out the whole segment. Then we're going behind the lens and we're checking out the Panasonic G2 Micro Four Thirds camera.
Sean's going to talk about boots that might recharge your electronics.
And then we're going to the lull of the week where BP spills some coffee.
It's disastrous. But now it's time for Off the Press.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Off the Press. We're going to start it with something really cool that surfaced just yesterday. Mortal Kombat trailer. So it's not really known if this is just the trailer for an upcoming movie or if it's a trailer for the upcoming video game. But it's all done in live action, so that's kind of why it's a little bit hazy.
Yeah, there's been a couple games that have used live action to actually do their trailers recently. So it's probably a very good idea. It is a good question, like, is this going to be the game or is it going to be a movie? Mind you, though, from what I didn't actually watch the trailer, from what I heard, it sounds too cinematic to be just a game trailer.
Well, here's your chance to watch the trailer, Sean, because we're going to roll it for you now. Here's a brief clip. If you want to see the full thing, just as usual, head on over to our show notes.
After his movie career died, he needed work. We had him working for us undercover.
So as you can tell from the trailer, a lot of the really big names are featured there.
You see quite a few of them, but I mean, Sub-Zero, cool, but
You don't really see much of Sub-Zero, though. No, you see a lot of...
I want to know how they're going to work this in. Like, are they going to do it like the game was and make it all mystical and all of that, or are they going to be genetic monsters?
I don't know.
Because Scorpion, you know, having the whole, you know, chain-linked spear thingamajigger coming out of his hand, that doesn't really translate very well into bio-weapon.
Well, I guess we'll find out at E3 in a couple of weeks, or next week, actually, if this is going to be for the game, or maybe they'll be ballsy and announce a movie there.
I hope they don't do both.
There is going to be a game with the movie.
Oh, there definitely will
totally,
be, but
yeah.
hopefully this isn't like, so we didn't want to make the video game trailer, so we just made one.
Yeah. So moving on, just two really quick points in the superhero movie area. The upcoming Green Lantern movie, starring Ryan Reynolds, there's already a sequel announced to it.
What?
Well, it's not really surprising, you know, with big superhero movies, it's usually done in threes, so...
But they haven't even got the...
Don't worry about it. In slightly better news, depends on who you talk to, The Flash is getting his own movie. It's going to be Barry Allen Flash. It's going to be, it's going to be written by the same group that wrote the first, maybe second Green Lantern movie, so...
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. That's some news from the DC movie front, because apparently we cover too much Marvel here. Whatever. So, in very exciting TV news, Torchwood has been confirmed for a U.S. release. This isn't just a U.S. release. It's going to be done in conjunction with BBC Worldwide and Starz, which I think is a division of HBO or
I think so.
something like that.
I heard a rumor that for this one, John Barrowman's actually going to be involved in it.
Yep, John
Like
Barrowman
he's not out of it.
and Eve Miles are both going to be in it.
Okay.
We don't know how much they're going to be involved in it, but I'm not really surprised because John Barrowman does act on U.S. shows and U.K. shows.
Probably going to have like a cameo at least.
Oh, at least.
Yeah.
And so good news, it's going to be headed by Russell T. Davies, and he is writing the first episode for this. So
Oh, good.
It's supposed
Okay.
to come out next fall, so 2011.
Oh. So it could be. It will be good.
It
Still
will-
got Russell T. Davies.
I'm expecting good things because it's supposed to air on Starz in the U.S. No word on Canada yet, and BBC One in the U.K. So.
It'll show up on Space in Canada. Let's just face it.
Yeah, or HBO maybe.
Or HBO.
And in video game news. This is first of two for video game news. Rock Band 3, they're having a keyboard. Yay! Though the picture kind of looks like a really small keyboard with a dinky little handle, it's not a full keytar. I'm sorry.
Lame.
But it is a fully functioning MIDI keyboard.
Oh, God.
Which is cool because Rock Band 3, they're trying to do this thing where it's like, we're going to teach you how to play real instruments. Because we showed a couple months ago, there was a peripheral with guitar strings.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's apparently going to be a pro mode where it teaches you to read music.
Oh, God.
Which...
That'll be kind of interesting and
That'd
helpful.
be-
It'll be very helpful to musically challenged people such as myself, who rely on these games to
Who
feel
would
like I
hate-
can play a music
Who would hate
instrument.
going to parties with people who can read music,
Yeah.
like myself. I'm sure,
Pretty
Sean.
much.
So, and then rounding off our video game news, Sean, you got some pretty big and exciting news.
Yeah. Team Fortress 2 is on the Mac as of time of recording, which is today. Big thing. Head over to the TF2 blog, and you are really going to want to have a look at it. They've got a great intro video. And for all of you Mac users who actually switch over to TF2, or if you already have TF2 on the PC, or if you buy it for your Mac anyway, you get a free set of iPod headphones. In-game only,
Well,
not real.
of course.
But honestly, it's actually it's pretty slick for all you new users for the game. They've changed the for all the grizzled veterans such as Scott and Sam and myself. The front page is always very Valve, so very simplistic, very much play, don't play, load, change things. And now they've changed it to very, very stylistic, very nice.
Is it just for the Mac client that's very nice?
No,
or
it's
have they done
on
it for-
PC.
Oh,
They've
good.
done a full update, a full overhaul for the whole thing.
Cool.
On both platforms, which is exactly what they want to do.
Yeah.
They don't want to single out one platform from the other.
Okay, so there's no major differences between how
Not
the
at
Mac...
all.
Oh, that's really good.
And the other neat thing though is for users who don't play a lot, Sam, or for new users, they now have training modes.
Cool.
So as you can see, here's one of the training modes. You get a range mode where it teaches you how to use the weapons. So people at long range, you'd use your rocket launcher. Close range, you'd use shotgun. Mid range, you use shotgun. Close range, you use shovel. Unfortunately, you just play as the soldier for now, and it also tells you how to use multiple damage with the rocket launcher. But more training sessions are supposed to be in, from what I hear. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. As well as, I didn't get the other clip for it because it'd just be too many clips.
Yeah.
Bot battles. There's an offline training mode
Good Lord.
where
About
you
fucking
actually
time.
where you actually play against bots, and the bots are actually pretty decent. And of course, you get to change your difficulty.
Yeah.
And so all they do is they literally run around, and your teammates aren't useless
Oh, that's
because
good.
it is bots on your team as well. It's completely offline. So they describe it as so you don't get embarrassed in front of the grizzled
Yeah,
veterans.
that's what I was saying to you when I was
Yeah.
playing 6 months or so ago. I was going online wow, I can't get any better because I keep getting owned.
Yep.
So now
this is all you need.
I can practice.
Yep.
Yay.
It's perfect practice. It runs really smoothly for the Mac. PC side, it's still pretty great.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out now. So I'll dust off the old TF2.
Definitely go check. Oh, it's also half price until the 14th. So if you don't own it, buy it now.
Cool.
So that wraps that one up.
Yep. So now we go over to Dave from the gutters.
Welcome. Here we are this week on From the Gutters. I'm Dave,
I'm Sean.
and we're going to be reviewing two different books for you. One of them is a guilty enjoyment, and the other one's going to be...
Not so much a guilty enjoyment, but one of my most favorite ones since I started reading it, Atomic Robo. So
I'm not even going to tell you what I think of that until later.
yeah.
The first book, The Pro, written by Garth Ennis and illustrated by Amanda Connor. This is a story about a woman who does everything it takes to make ends meet. She does perform sexual acts for money, but she also has a job at Denny's. Now, she has a child, which she seems to enjoy, if not possibly treasure. She does hold it dear. The breakdown of the story is there's someone called the Viewer, which is probably based on the Watcher.
The Observer.
Or the Monitor in the DC universe, which has kind of a more important meddling kind of role. At any rate, the viewer has a bet with his robot and says, I will bet you that anyone with power will become a superhero. And ends up giving a piece of his soul to a woman who is downtrodden prostitute when she's not working at Denny's. And says, okay, let's see what happens. And he alerts the League, which is essentially the Justice League of that universe, whatever universe this is. And so they go and recruit her. And it goes through all the different shenanigans. She's just a regular person who's had a pretty rough life. And she's basically giving him what for all the time. And
She's giving him something.
It's a fun book. I'm not going to show you any of the interiors. It's for grown-ups only. I think even on the cover there, it's kind of a see-through shirt. Anyway, it's a fun book, but mildly enlightening, maybe in terms of the reality of the superhero oeuvre. Garth Ennis does not like superheroes, and you can really tell in this particular book. He also does other books like The Boys, Preacher, that sort of stuff. They're all very
Yeah, but this one really, 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 really doesn't just parody some of the superheroes.
Oh, it just goes up and slaps them.
Yeah, it goes right into it, and there's some rumors considering some sidekicks and a few things, and he really, from what I saw, really plays that up in this, and it's wow.
It's a pretty thin book, just so you know, so it's a pretty quick read. I think actually 2 or 3 of the people here tonight read it before we started recording, and so it's, yeah. Anyway, the Pro, I don't want to give it an A+, but I'm going to. It's an excellent book. As long as you don't mind wandering in the gutters for a little bit. All right, so that's it for the Pro. What's up? What are you reviewing this week?
Well, this week I'm reviewing Atomic Robo, Volume 4, Revenge of the Vampire Dimension, issue number 3, though, which is basically Revenge of Dr. Dinosaur.
I love Dr. Dinosaur. He was so great. He was in the Free Comic Book Day a couple of years ago.
Yeah, Free Comic Book Day 2009 for Atomic Robo. Check it out. Robo is basically sent on a mission to investigate a lizard man on an uninhabited island, and encounters in Dr. Dinosaur's opinion, a time-traveling, super-intelligent dinosaur who will take over the world and bring the rest of the dinosaurs back.
Now, I don't want to interrupt, but that kind of writing is my favorite aspect of Atomic Robo.
Yeah.
When they sit there and they talk about science, and he's just like a Joe Lunch bucket.
Yeah.
And he's like,
oh, God.
Do you know how ridiculous this is? Look, now I have to pound the crap out of you.
Yeah. It's actually really funny because he's sitting there, and in this one in particular, a bit of a spoiler, of course, being a dinosaur, he is talking about his time machine, and Robo retorts with, all I can tell is that you're a dinosaur, you're probably just some sort of genetic experiment gone wrong, and you've created a so-called time machine out of what all I know it could be as rocks and fronds, to which Dr. Dinosaur retorts, and crystals! Because crystals are essential to the power source. And you actually see that even here. Robo is not in an anti-gravity field, a magnetic field, because magnetic crystals are too big. So he's in an anti-gravity crystal field that's plugged into the wall. So Dr. Dinosaur is completely screwed up in the head. You don't see it in this picture, unfortunately, but I've always wondered what it would look like if lizards actually could smile. They did it perfectly in this book. Check this out. It is a hilarious read. It's, I don't want to say mindless, because it really isn't. It's hilarious, the arguments.
That's the thing. It really is not mindless.
Yeah.
It's clever. It's clever, though, in that they take these grand concepts, reduce them into everyday debates.
Yeah.
Which I enjoy it so much.
It's really, really quite a good intelligent read. Have a look at it, and you will enjoy it. So that's all I got for Atomic Robo. If I were to give it a score,
Writer, who wrote it?
oh sorry, and it was written by Brian Clevenger and illustrated by Scott Wegener, and both of them are awesome. The writing and art is hilarious. Just read the whole series if you can find it. It's great.
What do you give the book? What do you rate it?
If I have to give it a rating, I don't usually like to do this, but if I had to,
You
definitely
have
an
to
A.
around the gutters.
Yep.
So it's an
definitely
A.
an A.
All right. That's it this week from the gutters.
Hey everybody, welcome to Tech Insight. First up on the docket is WWDC, the Worldwide Developers Conference, where Apple comes out and is supposed to have a developers conference, but instead announces platforms.
Woo!
And devices.
Apparently.
It's the iPhone conference.
So for the last 3 years, they've announced iPhone
Yes.
at WWDC?
Yeah.
The original
Yes.
was not, but the 3G, the 3GS, and the 4.
Yeah, so this would be the third year.
Yeah.
So they did announce the iPhone 4. That is the name for it. Not iPhone 4G, not
Because that would
iPhone
just be
HD.
confusing.
Not iPhone, oh my god, WTF BBQ. That's definitely not its name. So
I would've
don't
gone
try
with
to buy that one.
That's what I
Aw, I wanted that one.
It looks really nice. It's flat, which is the big thing. It no longer has the curved back that the other ones
Oh,
have
thank
had.
God.
It's glass screens on the front and the back, supposedly improving cellular reception, and uses a metal trim around the outside that is also an antenna, also supposedly improving reception. Big thing is they got a front-facing camera. They're promoting their FaceTime, is what they call it. It's their very easy to do voice or video
chat.
Yeah, video chatting, I should say. You do require that both phones are an iPhone 4, so it's sort of limited. You can't talk to other phones with it.
However, from what I understand, they've opened it up to developers. There's APIs and everything for
Yeah.
FaceTime, so you might be seeing integration with services like Skype or other IM services.
I think Skype has come out to say that they're not going to be using FaceTime, but
I'd heard the opposite. I'd heard they were very
Really?
interested in the
Oh, okay.
API for FaceTime and wanted to get on that.
We'll see what happens. I think it would be
Yeah.
easiest for Skype developers if they just use the APIs that are already available.
Yeah.
yeah. But
Some other things, it's now what they call the Retina display. First off, the resolution is 960 by 680.
Yeah, which is a little weird, but
Yeah, however, it's one of the highest resolutions currently available on a smartphone. Also, the actual DPI of the screen is 326 DPI, which is the highest of any smartphone available right now.
and in fact, more than your eye can perceive.
Yeah, so the Retina display is apparently technology that at 10 to 12 inches, which is the average viewing distance of the iPhone, your eye cannot perceive the pixel difference, therefore making the screen as clear as possible. Obviously, if you go like this, you'll be able to see it, but it's supposed to have 4 times the resolution, although that's sort of mathematically incorrect, over the 3GS, and much better 800 to 1 contrast ratio and a much better viewing angle. So I'm impressed, at least from the photo browsing and being able to read text and things like that.
It's definitely a big pull. I think that's a really big thing to compete with the Evo 8 4G.
Yes.
Because that thing's got a gorgeous screen on it.
Yeah. Now, I mean, from what I've heard from everyone reviewing the phone thus far, the biggest thing I've heard everyone say is it is the best screen they've seen on a smartphone thus far, bar none. It's clearer and cleaner and crisper than everything else that's out there. So it is a big thing that they're going for. Technically, there's not a whole lot that they've done to the phone.
It is running the A4 processor like the iPad, so it's going to be snappy.
Yeah, it's running 2 low-power 128 megabyte RAM chips. So that they've also increased the battery by 16%, and with the new, more power-efficient chip, they claim a 40% increase in call time and talk time and all that kind of stuff.
And big favorite for Quinn, wireless N.
Yes.
2.4 gigahertz only, so if you have one of those dual band routers, sorry.
Yeah. They also went to a 5 megapixel camera, which wasn't a huge step up over the 3G's 3 megapixel camera, but it was a nice improvement. However, we're going to talk a little bit more about the camera specs and behind the lens, because there's some interesting stuff they've done with that. But the big thing is it now shoots 720p video at 30 frames per second.
Which is awesome.
And they will be coming out with an iMovie application to edit in video clips, put your photos in it, do Ken Burns effect, run themes and titles and transitions, and do it all and publish it all from the phone straight up to YouTube, which is really awesome because we've hit this generation now where everyone's a mobile studio out of their pocket, which sort of changes the gameplay for news agencies and all that kind of stuff.
It's definitely going to be interesting. The app is $4.99 out of the market. You don't get it for free. Not surprising,
Because I don't think everyone's going to want it.
Exactly, because does it still have the elementary features like the 3GS had, where you could like cut clips?
Yes, you get that out of the box. You
Okay.
can record the video, you
Yeah.
can trim the video, you can send it out and upload it, but getting iMovie gives you themes and titles
So if you're
and
looking for something a
transitions
little
and
bit more,
photos.
you can pay that $5, get the stripped down version of iMovie on your phone.
And I'm sure, there's been some jokes about when are we going to see Final Cut Express for the iPhone, get a little bit more features and stuff. So I'm sure we will see some third-party apps that will take that video editing one step further now that that API has been opened up.
Yeah,
and
there's
things
a
like that.
lot more API features in the iOS 4. So they rebranded.
Yes.
Which I have huge beef with because they leased the name or paid Cisco for the name. Cisco has an operating system called iOS.
Yeah. Apple likes to do this thing where they come up with a name and go, we'll worry about the technicalities later.
Although
Yeah.
they didn't. They did this ahead of time.
Oh, good.
Unlike iPad.
Well, because Cisco also owns iPhone.
Yes, they do.
So
Yeah.
Because
they're
make
just
an
kind of
iPhone.
like, damn it, Cisco, you had all the good names. We'd really like to pay you for them.
And if Apple hadn't done that, they would have gotten the iPhone and iPad taken away because they are exactly almost the same. Or not iPad, sorry, iOS.
Yeah.
They're both operating systems. If Apple hadn't paid for it, Cisco would have been like, peace.
Yeah.
So I'm running iOS 4 on my phone here. So I can give you a kind of little of a brief overview.
Yeah, so the way he got iOS 4, if you're interested, there's tons of how-tos on the website, but Apple released the Gold Master, and apparently you don't need to have a developer keyed phone to actually install it, i.e. right here. So
You
if
do,
you want to check it
however,
out,
you do, however, need a Mac because
Yeah.
you have to download the beta of iTunes 9.2 because that's required to actually install this. But you can see here if you double tap the home button, that brings up the multitasking. You can slide between the apps. If you hold on an app, you can shut down the app, that sort of thing, which is kind of neat. It's hard to do upside down. You've also got obviously a background actually on the screen now. You
Which
weren't-
I have been wanting since the day I got my iPhone.
It's nice to be able to have backgrounds as opposed to just a black screen.
Yeah.
It definitely makes the phone a little bit nicer to have. You've also got application folders, which are kind of cool. If you tap one, it opens up and you can get at them. They are unfortunately limited to 12 applications per folder. So I've got like 3 apps folders and 2 games folders and stuff. I'd really like to only have like 3 folders, but I apparently can't.
not surprising, it'll be a new feature in iOS 5.
Yeah.
Now you can hold more.
Hey.
They've done threaded messaging. There's a handful of improvements. If you're an iPhone user and you're a little bit savvy and maybe have a Mac, you can jump on this right now. Or you don't have to wait that much longer because
The 21st, right?
24th.
24th?
June 24th
So
is
in
when
about 2 weeks.
the iPhone 4 will be available in the States as well as iOS 4.
And UK and Germany.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
Japan.
Canada's supposed to be seeing it sometime in July. We don't have a date yet.
Yeah.
No one's released it, but we are going to see it sooner as opposed to later. Some
I
places
was
aren't
on
getting it till August.
I was on
or...
Rogers' website yesterday, and they had a countdown timer
Okay.
beside the iPhone. So
There's probably a date, and maybe we'll get back to you on that.
And it has been announced by all 3 major carriers, so we're not going to see a delay.
oh good.
Yeah.
Like some people thought it might.
Fido, Rogers, Telus, Bell,
Wow.
they'll all be carrying it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean you can probably get it on Virgin, but all the major brands have
Yeah.
it. So.
It'll be available in a 16 and 32 gigabyte version, starting
Which
at
I thought was silly.
too much space.
No, not enough.
That's true. I got a lot of people were expecting a 32 and a 64. I think.
I was, because especially with the 720p video,
Yeah.
Yeah, really. Like how much?
once
can
I
you...
start doing 720p video, I really need that extra space, and space is cheap.
Yeah.
I think they really kind of did this to meet their price points. I think it
Probably.
would have been a little bit more. They didn't want to have 3 tiers
No.
like they do with the iPad, just to keep consistency. But I really think they should have gone 3264.
So the 16 will be available for $199, and the 32 will be available for $299. The 3GS is now available for $99, and the 3G is now no longer made. It's off the market. There's a handful of features on iOS 4 you will not be able to have as a 3G user unless you jailbreak. So Apple is cutting down on the development for
Yeah.
that one.
Most importantly, the multitasking and the background.
Yes,
Yep.
you can't have backgrounds or multitasking, which are arguably the 2 nicest features from the
Which-
new.
Unless you want to work around it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wink,
but
wink.
but if you're
Which is what I'm doing because this is a 3G and I
if
had both
you're
of those features.
jailbreaking already on your 3G, that's most likely what you're going to do. Like the first thing I did was background. Second thing, multitasking.
Except now you don't have to. Well, you
Yeah.
can still have to jailbreak, but you can jailbreak the native functionality
Yeah.
and not use third parties.
Yeah.
Exactly. So now it's easier and probably nicer to jailbreak.
Yeah.
So that's iOS 4 and the iPhone 4. likely you'll see Quinn and I upgrade to iPhone 4s as soon as we can.
Yeah.
I feel a little bad about it, but it's a sexy phone.
It is.
I can't say no.
I've said for a while that I like my 3G and I like the 3GS, and I would have probably moved to the 3GS. I'm glad it didn't, but the 4 is exactly what I want out of a phone, and even if they add more features, I don't feel I need them. My biggest problem with my 3G now is it's just a bit slow, and I'd like a better camera, and I'd like wireless N, and I've met those characteristics now, so I really think it's a perfect phone for the average user.
Good luck iPhone 5.
I was playing with the iPhone or the iOS 4 on this, and I was telling these two, like, oh wow, if this came out 2 months ago, I wouldn't have jumped ship. So, just saying.
And we should be noted that they will not support frequencies like AWS, so good luck Win Mobile.
So Pentaband's not going to support it? Oh, okay. I thought it was
not
going
on
to run
chip.
on the 17.
Unless it's in the chip but not listed on the specs.
Okay.
Because on the Apple specs, it lists the spectrums, and AWS is not on there.
Okay.
But they've done things in the past where they just won't say that.
Yeah.
Even though the chip supports it, but the software doesn't, and weird things like that. But I wouldn't look for it on your alternative carriers right now.
Okay.
So that's it from WWDC.
Yep.
Another thing happened to launch last week, which is not nearly as exciting, but kind of cool if you do the online collaboration stuff. Microsoft finally got their crap together and launched Office web apps. Now this is in direct competition, kind of maybe backwardsly with Google Docs.
Yep.
So it's more or less basic stripped down Office on the web. So there's your Word. It's got your ribbon, just like Word on the PC does. It's got all your basic features, but it doesn't have any of the advanced stuff. I played with it a little bit. The actual applications are awesome. If you're like a straightforward word processing kind of person, you just want to type up your stuff, basic formatting, maybe bold and italicize some stuff. You can even put in tables and pictures. This is perfect. Don't buy Word. Use this. If you can print, which I didn't test, but if there's some way to print, use this. There's no reason to go buy Word. If you want to do editing, like where you can add comments and stuff and forward.
Can you open other people's documents in it?
So what you can do is it's completely backwards compatible with all the existing Word formats.
Okay.
And if you have, like, let's say I have a really complicated Word file that's all formatted fancy, I upload it to my SkyDrive, which is what this is based around. I'll talk about that in a second. And then open it in Word Online. It won't show you all the formatting. It'll show as much as it's capable of rendering.
You won't lose any?
But it's all kept.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
So unlike with Google Docs,
Take that,
if you
Google.
upload a Word file into Google Docs, it mutilates the hell out of it.
Yeah.
If there's almost any formatting whatsoever.
Yeah, we had that problem with our show notes a couple of weeks
all
ago.
the time. So that's cool. It's a little harder. So functionality, it's great. Word is awesome. Excel's terrible. It works fine, but every time you change a cell, you have to go click recalculate.
Oh, all right. Well, that kind of makes sense because you're in a
Oh.
web platform, so.
I understand why it's there, but that for most people who use Excel, that makes Excel useless.
I would agree.
Because every time you change one number, you want everything else to recalculate instantaneously. That's why you're using Excel.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of good if you want to just check up on some things or make some minor changes on the go, and you only have your netbook or whatever, and you don't have full Office loaded. But I wouldn't definitely does not replace Excel. PowerPoint, same thing as Word. It's really great. You can edit all your stuff. It's got even basic themes on there and everything. Really cool. OneNote, I didn't really play with because I'm not a OneNote guy, but from what I understand, it's similar. You can open up your notebooks and add stuff on the go. So it's all based off SkyDrive, and this is where it starts to get complicated and confusing. So you need a live account to use this.
Okay.
Most people have it if you have Hotmail or if you have
MSN.
Messenger. You already have a live account, so you can just use that. So go to like office.live.com, got to log in. Now, from that, directly from there, it looks awesome. You can create a new Word document, create a new PowerPoint, whatever. It's got a list of your documents. That's great. Now, let's say you want to quit and make a new document. Well, you press the X to quit. There's a little sub X in like the actual Word. Then it brings you to this random page that's like your SkyDrive. And it shows you like some documents and stuff, but those little logos are gone.
Okay.
So if you want to make a new document, you got to go up to the top and click Office, and then click New Thing. If Office is even listed, sometimes it's not. And it just...
So they got to work on their back end a little bit more then.
Google Docs is a lot more straightforward to
Okay.
get between documents, to make new documents back and forth. It always goes back to that same splash page with your documents listed.
Yeah.
This doesn't. And if you somehow wander away from SkyDrive, you're done. I actually got lost in the Windows Live
So
network
SkyDrive
of
isn't
things.
connected in with everything else.
It is. It's just hard to
But-
find.
Huh.
Usually, it's easier to get back to something called Office than something called SkyDrive.
Yeah.
Weird.
So it's pretty cool. You should definitely check it out. The sharing's a little bit more complicated too.
I'm assuming it's also free. It's free like
Oh,
Google?
it's free for everyone, as
Okay.
long as you have a live account.
Okay.
So check it out if you want to kind of use a web-based thing and you're not really in the whole Google universe. One cool thing is if you haven't checked out SkyDrive, you should. Microsoft gives everyone with a live account 25 gigs of online storage, which you can share with anyone, and you can put any files on there. Completely unrestricted. You can put EXEs up there, you can put ISOs up there, you can put videos, pictures, documents, whatever you want. So it's actually really great, and you can choose what to keep private and what to share, which is actually really easy. So if you don't check out SkyDrive, you should. SkyDrive's a really cool service, and that's 25 times the amount of storage you'd have on Google Docs. Google Docs gives you 1 gig, so we'll see what happens. I think Google will respond and change some stuff in Microsoft, and there'll be like a Cold War of online Office suites, but
The most boring war in history.
ever. And neither of which are perfect for what we want for our show notes.
No.
No. So that's a little Microsoft news. Definitely check out the Word online if you're like, I don't know, I want to spend $200 on Word. Try that first. More unexciting news. Flash 10.1 came out today.
Yay!
HTML5, what is that? Flash is marching forward. So Flash 10.1 is the newest version. Cool things about this, pretty much, it takes advantage of graphic hardware. So it can use your native graphic hardware to accelerate the Flash playback.
Yeah, which should hopefully improve performance on
Yeah.
Macs pretty sufficiently.
Now, the only thing that people have been saying for Macs is on the new Macs, it does not automatically switch to your discrete card.
Okay.
Now, that's a function of the built-in switching. Doesn't really know what to do
Okay.
in relation to the new Flash, so the conflict there. But other than that, this should really help netbooks, because otherwise you'd be using that crappy Atom processor as opposed to helping it out with the Intel card on
Yeah.
board. So netbooks is going to look increased performance and probably less crashing, because it's distributing a little more of the weight. So that should be good. You should go download Flash 10.1. I did, and it was a lot better on my netbook for sure. Google Maps news. For you, this
Yay.
is good. We talked a while ago about Google Maps had the navigation turn by turn.
Yep.
That's now available in Canada.
Okay.
So if you have a Android phone in Canada, you're good to go. It's already enabled on your phone. You don't have to download anything. There's no update.
Yep.
Just kind of works.
Well, that's good with the free car mount that you get from Telus.
Yeah, which finally has a use.
Now you're going to get a car to go with that.
Yeah, get on that.
I'm trying.
I'm set.
And then if you don't want to use your car mount because you really shouldn't be touching and looking at stuff, and you have a GM or Ford car equipped with Sync or OnStar, you can now send your directions from your Android phone to OnStar or Sync, and they'll read the directions to you.
I'm completely cool with the idea of your car doing all kinds of crazy internet stuff, but it also terrifies the crap out of me because I don't really want my car connected to the world.
You want to know the good thing? They're not.
Okay.
That's why you have to have the phone.
Oh, all right.
The way Ford Sync and OnStar have like this low-level, really crappy slow data connection
Okay.
that almost never works because you're almost never in service, and it's so slow that it couldn't pass any worthwhile data.
Okay.
That's how you get your OnStar service.
Okay.
And your Ford Sync like updates and stuff. So it doesn't have a 3G data connection. It doesn't have a data connection worth talking about. Usually it's the UMTS connection, so it's really slow. But you do need like a phone with the Google Maps to sync to your car.
Okay.
So,
Cool. Now we can.
and even if you don't have a big fancy display, it'll still read back if you have because some sync cars don't have big displays.
Yeah, they've just got the regular sort of smaller LED display.
So they'll actually scroll the instructions and repeat them back to you, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And definitely safer than looking at your GPS all the time.
Definitely.
So that's good. And last roundup, Windows 7 Service Pack 1 goes into public beta next month. I don't know about you guys, but I'm stoked.
Hell yeah!
What is this Windows you talk about?
So the only reason I wanted to put this in the lineup is because this means
Do you have to open them when it's hot inside?
No, we have air conditioning.
Oh, okay.
Leave them closed.
All right.
Okay. Don't waste the energy like
All
that.
right.
Think green.
Sorry. I'm bad at that.
So the only reason this is exciting is because usually companies stay away from Windows products until a service pack comes out. And then they're like, all right, now we can start transitioning.
We weren't sure if you were serious about this operating
Yeah.
system before, but now we assume you are.
Now, when Vista Service Pack 1 came out, everyone was like, finally, it'll work normally. And this point, everyone's like, I don't really care because 7's great.
Yeah.
There's no features, don't think features. It's basically a patch roll-up. So, yay that maybe you'll start seeing it in your corporate network, which should be a lot better than XP.
Or 2000.
Yeah, some places are still on 2000 Pro, which is bad news bears. But
Internet Explorer 6, 14-year-old
Yeah.
web technology.
I love it.
which even Microsoft doesn't support anymore.
No. Microsoft is supporting Internet Explorer 6 until 2014.
Yeah, but they actually said when they were going to stop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although I still find it funny that the company's like, okay, we're willing to support 14-year-old web technology.
They have to.
Yeah.
They don't have a choice.
I know, but it's terrible.
It
But
is
they don't have a
terrible.
I don't know who in their right mind thinks that the web was the same 14 years ago.
Well,
It wasn't.
Internet Explorer 6 didn't come out 14 years ago.
Well, it'll be 14 when they stop.
Yes.
I'm talking about, yeah.
Okay, you try and tell that to the CTO of like some really big bank who doesn't really know what he's talking about.
I know.
You're like, damn it, support me, I'll pay you.
Done that.
And then Microsoft's like, huh, you're going to pay me. Well, they got to make money somehow. So hopefully we'll see some businesses transitioning. Windows 7 is actually the most successful launch of Windows ever. 20% of Windows PCs are running them worldwide now,
Wow.
which is ridiculous.
That's surprising considering it's, well, pretty new, I guess.
Yeah, I
but
saw that on Engadget or Gizmodo a little while ago. I was like, what? And clicked
Well,
through.
arguably it's the best operating system they made to date.
Yo, definitely. It's like the revolution that XP was, except people were really pissed at Vista for so long that it looks nicer.
Yeah.
So that's it from Tech Insight. Coming up next, we're going behind the lens. Hey everybody, welcome behind the lens. We're going to tell you a little bit more about the iPhone 4 camera. Quinn was pretty excited.
Yeah. So the first camera had 1.3 megapixels. Then in the 3GS, they went up to 3 megapixels. And now in the 4, it's 5 megapixels. Now, a lot of people were expecting there to be more megapixels because the Evos got
Had
8,
8, yeah.
and some of the Sonys have 10, 12 megapixels.
On a little tiny wee sensor.
Yeah. So Apple's doing the right thing this time because we've talked about sensor size before, and the big thing that they're touting this time is that although they've gone up 2 megapixels, they've made the pixels bigger. So they've put a larger sensor in there. They've put a larger lens in there as well. So the picture quality is actually a lot better on this one than it was even in just comparison to the 3GS.
And this is going to give you better low light pictures.
Yes,
correct?
it will give you better low light pictures. Now, the 3GS was decent at low light, but not fantastic. But really, there's some pretty decent capabilities with the new one. 5 megapixels is still a completely usable number. You can print 4x6s from it. It's completely internet friendly, and I think it's the right number of megapixels for a camera phone, in my opinion. I think having more than 5 is just asking for too much out of your phone and just negatively affecting things. Now, they've also included a little LED flash, which you can use.
Yeah.
It's nothing special. It's the typical thing you'd see on Blackberries and stuff like that. For video mode, it stays on all the time, which is
so that's nice.
which is also a nice
Yeah.
feature. They didn't have to do that. Some phones don't do that.
A
Some
lot of
phones
phones
do.
don't do that, yeah.
So it's kind of cool that they've done that. But really, the big thing that they've done for this sensor is they've made it larger. So they've made the pixel count higher. Now, the pixel count on a standard point-and-shoot camera, so if you were to go to the store and buy a Canon SD1400 or something like that, has a pixel pitch of 2. There's some sort of special UM symbol thing that I don't know how to pronounce, but it's got a pixel pitch of about 2, whereas the Nikon D3S has a pixel pitch of about 8. Now that's a professional camera, but in comparison to the point-and-shoot, the pixel pitch on the iPhone 4 is 1.75. So it's just a touch down from what you'd expect out of a Canon or Nikon point and shoot, which we obviously expect to take much better pictures than our camera phones do. So when it actually comes down to the sort of nerdy technical specs of it, it's got the numbers to compete and really replace the idea of having a pocket camera. A lot of people are buying SLRs these days, and so now instead of going out and owning a point and shoot and an SLR, you might just have a better phone.
Well, and I know it would be great for me because I have a point and shoot, but I don't remember to take it anywhere.
No, you're never using it.
No, and I don't want to have it in my pocket all the time because most of the time I don't want to take pictures. But when I do, I'm like, oh, well, it's not in my pocket. Stick my stupid 3G iPhone out, and it takes the worst, most terrible pictures.
Yeah.
Like my flip phone had a nicer camera.
Yeah. Apple's got a bunch of the photos up on their website. You can check them out. They are supposedly unretouched straight off the camera. Granted, most of them are in optimal lighting conditions,
Yes.
but it still gives
say.
the idea that if you were outdoors with your friends taking pictures or whatever, this is what you'd expect from it.
Yeah.
And honestly, being someone who uses hundreds of cameras a day, I can honestly say I'm impressed with what they're doing, and it is competing directly with your entry-level point-and-shoots. So good move, Apple, for not upping up the megapixels and making a smaller sensor and all that crazy stuff. So that's the information on the camera in the iPhone 4. If you're a professional photographer, though, it was an important week this week because Adobe decided that they were going to announce that they are releasing Lightroom 3. Pre-orders are taking place now. They don't have an official release date, but my expectations within the next month, as I believe the beta for Lightroom 3 is ending at the end of June, so it will likely be just before that or just after that.
Yep.
So we're going to see Lightroom 3. $299, which is the standard pricing for Lightroom. That's US. It's a little bit more in Canada. Or $99 if you own Lightroom 2, maybe even possibly Lightroom 1. I didn't check that out. But we've all been waiting for it, especially myself. I'm looking forward to it. They've added video management and a whole bunch of lens correction options and stuff like that, so it should be pretty awesome if you're a professional photographer. But on to the review this week. We've got the Panasonic G2, which Scott is playing with right now. We've talked about the Panasonic G1 before a lot.
At length, that was one of the first Micro Four Thirds.
It was, yeah. So this is following in the same line. It's virtually identical in shape and size to the G1. Has almost an identical lens. Has the same 12 megapixel sensor. But what they've done on this guy is they've added 720p video with a microphone input, and Panasonic's video capabilities are quite strong with a fairly quick autofocus that makes no noise in video, which is nice. And having the mic input's a big thing. So this one shoots in AVC HD, the light format at 720p. The other first for an SLR style camera is that screen right there, not only does it flip and rotate, but it's touchscreen, which is a first for SLRs. But in this style of camera, it makes a whole bunch of sense. Some of the cool features you can do with a touchscreen is you can, like Scott just did, you can tap to take a picture. You touch anywhere on the screen, it's going to focus where you touch and take a picture instantaneously.
Now, I thought that was kind of gimmicky, but the camera's actually quite fast.
It is. Very quick for
so-
focusing.
Yeah.
So it is actually kind of useful if you know, I want it right there. It might be quicker than trying to get it to the right autofocus point or changing your autofocus mode.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah. So 3-inch touchscreen, which is quite nice, makes it easy to change a bunch of the settings. Now, they did take a step back on the lens, in my opinion. This is a 14 to 42 millimeter lens. The G1 came with a 14 to 45. The range difference isn't what's important. It's the fact that on this camera, we are looking at a plastic mount on the back of the lens. The original 14 to 45 was a metal mount, so it was a slightly higher build quality. However, I think Panasonic's doing that so they can bring this guy in at a better price point. Okay. This guy's coming in at $899, which is really a decent price value for high-def video, mic input, autofocus, touchscreen.
Is that similar to what we've been seeing for Micro Four Thirds?
Yeah, the Micro Four Thirds have ranged anywhere from about $650 up to about $1,200. Or possibly more if you bought the GH1. That guy was around $1,700. So for the price point, I think it's a really great camera. It's about 3 frames per second, pretty speedy to take pictures. Still has an electronic viewfinder, which some people enjoy. Really great intelligent automatic button. So if you click this guy, it lights up in blue, and then you're in the easy mode. So, you know, your impressions when you first picked it up was that it seemed a little complicated.
So the reason I said that is because if you don't like the touchscreen, you can do literally everything with scaling through the menus and buttons, and there's a lot on these knobs. Like, it's actually got 2 on the top for different settings, and there's like sub sliders in there, which is a lot of cameras don't have. They just have the one straightforward kind of thing. So it's a little overwhelming at first for someone who has no idea what any of these things stand for or mean. But once you kind of learn your way around, it's not too bad. I mean, really, a lot of people are going to be using the automatic
absolutely.
settings and things like that.
It does have the dedicated video record button, which is nice too.
Yeah.
They've tried to make it easy. So I mean, yeah, there's a lot of buttons, but once you figure out what the buttons do, it does make changing modes really quick.
Yeah.
So $899. Honestly, as much as I love the G1, this is a really great upgrade to it. They've added the video, they've added the touchscreen. Everything else is pretty much stayed the same. So if you are looking for an entry-level SLR style camera, but maybe were a really big fan of the point-and-shoot generation and liked simple controls and lots of upfront capability, this is really a good option. So I recommend it completely. There are some other ones in the lineup if you don't need the high-def video or you want better high-def video. Panasonic does make some other options. But that wraps up this week in Behind the Lens, and we'll be right back with Sean's Mad Science.
Science.
It's kind of alive!
Nah, it's still dead.
Oh. Hey everyone! Welcome to Sean's Mad Science with Dave. Hello. You see, there's a recurring theme. You know, he always helps me with the science. I never help him with comics, but I did it this time, as you can see earlier. Another interesting tie to something a little bit earlier, dealing with science and comics thereof and funny situations that come with it. You ever been in a situation where you've been walking around, it's kind of rainy, your shoes are wet, your feet are wet, and you're like, I don't want to walk anymore, I'm going to call a cab. My cell phone's dead, though. You don't have to worry about that anymore. Because the first thing that we have for you, Dave,
Yes.
rubber boots.
And it in size 13 triple F?
Yep.
Heck yeah, I was expecting maybe no, but turns out yes.
Yeah. Rubber boots. What's so special about rubber boots, you're probably asking? These ones actually...
They're made of rubber! What?
In fact, they are.
Cool.
But these ones are actually using a basically a ceramic and thermocouple sandwich, which actually becomes a thermopile in that case, which is going to convert the heat from your feet into electricity.
It's fun because it rhymes.
That too. So basically using just a series of thermocouples with these two ceramic plates, one hotter and colder.
Now, before we get too far, what's a thermocouple?
Thermocouple is a device which uses two different types of metals. And when one is warmer than the other, or one is cold, it creates a charge between them. You find these in furnaces, things like that. This is what helps you keep your furnace running without you dying.
Ooh.
Things like that.
I thought that was a thermostat. You know what, forget it.
Well, that's a different thing. But anyway, these things are used for a lot. Like, they're very, very useful things. And now we can find that little charge that comes from them can now start to power your...
We can harness it.
Yeah, we can harness that.
And then we can use that eventually to power the nanites in our bloodstream.
Well, we used the biofuel cell for that one already. Yeah. Although, that's a good time.
Unless I was a robot.
Yes.
Because if you're a robot with nanites in your... Actually, that would be kind of cool. Oh my god! We should write the Terminator people.
Yep. You've thought of something here.
Oh, wait, T1000X or whatever.
No. That wasn't nanites.
Liquid metal. Is liquid metal? Okay, I know this is totally off topic.
Yeah.
Would you say liquid metal is nanites? Does that make sense? Or is it just some kind of...
Actually, in the case of that, I believe it'd be more along the lines... It's not nanites, it's more of like a ferrofluid. Meaning that it's a fluid that is being controlled with a high electromagnetic field.
Please take none of this science seriously.
But no, it's not nanites.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Actually, you know what? You do bring a good point, though. She did have nanites to control other devices.
That's right.
Yeah, but yeah, all right.
And she also had that like nuclear pile in her chest, probably.
Yeah,
Okay. Anyway, so getting back on subject.
Yeah, but back on subject though. These boots, if you watch the beginning of the show, use crystals. That's how they work. Crystals.
Sweet.
Isn't it great? Anyway.
That's really cool.
So that's for the boots. Those are your electrified wellies. And Quinn just shot himself, so we're going to have to move along here. But you know what? Talking about robots a little bit earlier, there's a new one, and it does a great thing. It does a great service for clearing minefields. It's a neat little bomb disposal bot that basically shoots an electrical cord. It shoots an explosive cord into the minefield, which detonates the mines. So it basically shoots a line of explosives, think det cord on crack. So it's not just going and creating a fuse, it's actually going boom!
So why couldn't a person do this?
Well, potential loss of life. Because you can't find every single mine.
No.
So if you're going in, you could have a person equipped with a line shooter and go ahead and do that. But at the same time, when it comes to minefields, you really can't tell how far they stretch. Because if you're going to be very, very smart about making a minefield, what you would do is you would scatter. It would be very dense in one area, and you'd scatter them in the rest, unlike the outskirts. So that way you kind of build up the false sense of security, and people get cocky and start running in, and you cause a lot of damage.
Interesting.
Sending in a bomb disposal bot, though, of course, saves human
This is
lives.
something he learned on Team Fortress 2. Probably.
Actually, no. That one was... probably shouldn't get into that.
Anyway.
Incidentally, though, so it's a neat little device the military is going to be starting to use. It's rolling out. So they can, of course, preserve human
I'm
life.
guessing it rolls?
Yep.
Treaded
vehicle.
That was good.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it is a Autobot, as you could probably guess. Right. So that's really all we have this week. Robots and crystal-powered boots.
And then
Impossible nanites.
termite-nators.
We could call them termites.
Termite-nators. That would be awesome!
We could just call them termites. They're nanites.
Thermites.
Thermites. Ooh, thermite.
Termites.
I wonder if we can make a thermite launcher. Anyway, so that's it for Mad Science. As you can see, we're getting way off track, and at the same time, giving ideas I shouldn't have. So, thanks for tuning in, and if you stay tuned for a little longer, you can watch something real funny with the Lull of the Week.
Have we got a treat for you this week? These cups, I tell you, wait till you see what...
No! Never again. Today, we have topical comedy.
That's right. If you've been hiding under a rock, you might not know that there's this giant oil spill thing that's happening.
That may or may not be a certain company's fault.
BP!
BP.
I mean, British Power.
Wow, British Petroleum.
Ah, damn.
Good effort, though. So British Petroleum, they have issues with spills.
Apparently.
So we're going to show you a video about what happens when they have a coffee spill in the boardroom.
It's disastrous.
According to the charts, this is the best plan of action.
Yeah, great. Don't worry about it. It's a small spill in a very large table.
Sir, I think we are underestimating just how much coffee was spilled.
Yeah, that's a lot of coffee.
Well, we better hurry up because it's almost reached my laptop.
Calm down, calm down. Boom.
It's also going to destroy all the fish.
Oh boy. Okay. Boom. Look at that.
My God, it's encroaching on my map of Louisiana.
Okay. Okay. Look. Oh no. Fish.
Laptop.
Okay.
Map.
Okay. I'm sorry. Look. Oh no. Fish.
Laptop.
So, you should watch the whole clip because Kevin Costner makes a cameo via phone near the end.
And they may or may not have a genius idea involving a ping pong ball.
Most great ideas come from a ping pong ball.
Seriously, I think it could solve the whole issue.
Yeah. We should try that on the real oil spill.
With a lot more ping pong balls,
Absolutely.
they might crush.
So you should go watch the whole clip to understand what the hell we're talking about.
And if you wanted to watch the whole clip per se, you could probably find a link to it at our blog, which is almostfridayshow.com.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or you can follow us on Twitter at almost_Friday.
Or if you're old school, you could probably email us.
I think they're still working those
I think you can
email
still do that.
machines with
Yeah,
this stuff.
probably
the
on your
communication,
iPhone.
the tubes.
It's not a big truck. So you can email us at contact@almostfridayshow.com if you want.
Yeah.
And that's about all we have this week for the show.
So until next time, don't get lost in the FaceTime continuum.
Yeah.